What would a cure mean to you?
Hope,
freedom, strength,
happiness,
independence.
As one of our most valued donors, you know the statistics are staggering. Right now, 1 in 4 Canadians, 9 million people from coast to coast, are living with diabetes or prediabetes, and those numbers are growing steadily. That's why the work we do at the Canadian Diabetes Association, supported by you, is so critical, and why we thank you for your generosity and leadership. Hi, I'm Mike Cloutier, President and CEO of the Canadian Diabetes Association. While the statistics help demonstrate the enormity of this health crisis, to really understand the seriousness of diabetes and why we need your continued support, you must hear it in the words of someone who's living with diabetes. Diabetes can be a life and death struggle and affects not only the person who's living with it, but also their parents, children, a spouse, and their friends. It can be painful, exhausting, frustrating, and often very frightening. The discovery of insulin changed everything. People living with diabetes now have the opportunity to live fuller, more active lives. But our work is far from over. We need your continued support to find a cure. We've asked thousands of people what a cure would mean to them, and not surprisingly, the answers have been as unique as the people themselves. That's why it's important to hear from someone who knows firsthand the devastating impact of diabetes. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Aaliyah.
Diabetes has been with me for so long. I can't remember life before I was diagnosed.
Aaliyah Rainbird is a vibrant 22-year-old woman who recently graduated from university. When she was just 9 years old, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. More than once, Aaliyah was so sick, no one knew if she'd survive.
It was very scary. I didn't know why this was happening to me or why everyone was so afraid to let me out of their sight. There were times when I was just so sick, it was terrifying, so much more than a child should have to go through.
While her friends were busy just being kids, Aaliyah struggled daily to manage her diabetes. Her days were filled with learning how to test her blood sugar and inject herself with insulin. Diabetes was with her every moment of every day.
I lived through some things no one should have to. Sometimes my levels dropped so severely low, I'd have grand mal seizures, fall into a coma, or lose consciousness. It was a roller coaster, with my blood sugars going from too low to too high. My condition was so serious that doctors told my parents to check on me in the middle of the night to see if I was still alive. I used to cry at bedtime because I was terrified I was going to die.
Aaliyah used needles to inject herself until she was 11. Then she was put on an insulin pump, which she still uses today. Since using the insulin pump, her life has dramatically improved.
It meant no more needles, less pain, and more freedom.
Aaliyah still needs to carefully monitor her condition, and though it's far less of a life and death struggle, the shadow of fear still hangs over her.
Things are so much better for me now. It's not as extreme as it used to be. I haven't had a seizure for 4 years, and I'm more comfortable now. But it terrifies me when my blood sugar is low. My friends and family are great, very supportive and caring. But if you haven't lived it, you don't really know how scary diabetes can be. I have diabetes, that's a fact, but I refuse to be defined by my disease. For me, a cure would mean freedom. There have already been great strides in research and technology that have changed so many lives. We're getting closer every day.
Aaliyah is an inspiration and an example of hope for people living with diabetes across Canada. She is passionate about helping others living with diabetes, and that's where you come in.
Being diagnosed with diabetes as a child was difficult and frightening. I've come so close to the edge, and yet now, 14 years later, I'm healthy and happy. No, I'm not cured, but I've come such a long way in coping with my diabetes. And it's thanks to the important work at the Canadian Diabetes Association that I'm alive today. So many important discoveries and improvements have been made and have changed my life and the lives of so many others living with diabetes. And there's still more to discover.
Your generous gift will support some of the most exciting diabetes research projects in the world, any of which could lead to a cure. By giving today, you will also support vital programs and services that will dramatically improve the lives of millions of Canadians living with diabetes. We hope you will continue your leadership support with a gift today and to help to change the lives of people like Aaliyah for the better.
What would a cure mean to me? Everything. I'm here today because of caring donors just like you who support the Canadian Diabetes Association. The hopes and dreams of millions of Canadians like me who are living with diabetes can be realized with a single word: cure. Please donate to the Canadian Diabetes Association today. Thank you.